All good? All good. Let's get into it. So, alpha investing, 1x, 1x. So, for those of you who are new or maybe not have been to one of my presentations before, this is a presentation or a weekly investing call where I want to help you guys get an edge in the market and be able to understand the market on a different level, right? There's no playbook for the market. There's no school for you to go to truly understand the market. The only way that you're truly going to be able to understand the market is by putting in the work and being in the market and watching other people and listening to other people. And then you have to put it in a process in a form that makes sense to you. So that is my goal of this presentation. Every time I do a call, I want to help you guys build an edge in the market, right? But I'm going to teach you how to get hyper returns. I'm going to show you guys a few things that you can look at that will help you on your investing journey. Next, y'all know how we do, right? Every year we talk about New Year's resolutions, right? We talk about we want to do things for the new year. I'm going to give you the blueprint to succeed every single year. In the chat, let me know really quickly. Do you guys even remember when it was 2023, December 31st, and we were making all these New Year's resolutions? Let me know if you guys actually remembered the goals that you had for 2024. And did you accomplish those goals? Right? A lot of times we write goals down or we do things and we're not consistent. We don't hit those goals. But I'm going to give you guys a blueprint for you to be able to make sure that you can hit it every year. The first thing you need is 8 daily affirmations. You need 8. You need to say them in the morning, in the middle of the day, and at night. So for me, I'm calm. I am patient. I am consistent. I am strong. I am disciplined. I trust myself. I operate in abundance and I move with God. You have to say those things. The power of the tongue is very, very strong. You have to say these things and you have to put it into the air for it to actually come to fruition, for it to actually happen. If you're not saying it or you're not speaking on it and it's just in your mind, you're not even putting that thought into action. The next thing you need to do is speak it. Then after that, you have to put the work in to actually get to it. So the next thing that you need to do is have 5 daily habits to create structure. So for me, drink water, right? Get the right amount of water, sleep 8 hours, play 1 game of chess per day, color every day, eat healthy. You need 5 daily habits that's going to help you hit your goals every year. Next, you need 1 to 3 daily fun things that bring you peace. So a lot of times, and I struggle with this myself, right? We get so caught up in work, we get so caught up in family time, we get so caught up in everything else. But at some point, you have to live your life for you. And that's going to keep you pushing. That's going to keep you going. If you're not taking care of yourself, you can't fully take care of other people. So you need to make sure that you as a person are being fulfilled, because at the end of the day, you are the person that is making the decisions in your life. So for me, 1 to 3 daily things that I would do is watch sports. I like the Bernie Mac show. I don't know if any of you guys like the Bernie Mac show, but that's the show I like. And then I like playing games like Uno, iMessage games, Mancala, ping pong, whatever it is, right? I need 1 to 3 daily fun things that's going to bring me peace so I can go into the next day with a fresh mind and reset. Next, you need 3 goals to hit every single week. You need to break these up. So you don't have to do them every single day. You're going to get burnt out. You need to break it up. So 2 of my 3 goals, one of them is read 100 pages per week. And the second is work out 5 times per week, right? And you need to be able to break these up like school. School gave us the blueprint, high school, college, right? We've been going to school our whole lives, and then you go into the work field and they put you on a schedule. You need to have a schedule for yourself when it comes to the market or when it comes to other things and when it comes to your goals for you to be able to hit them. And you need to be consistent. And the last thing, you need 1 big goal for the entire year, and don't tell anybody your goal until it's finished. Don't tell anybody about your goal until you hit it. There's going to be a lot of noise, just like the market, right? CNBC, a lot of people are talking. A lot of people are giving opinions, right? Don't tell anybody or soul what your big goal is until you hit it and accomplish it. And this is the blueprint for you to succeed every single year. Next, y'all know how we do. Let me know in the chat. Is the stock going up or down? Is it going up or down? Let me know. Up. So should we be going long or should we be going short? Are we going long or are we going short? Good. Everybody on the same page. Next, this chart. Are we going long? Are we going short? Is it going up? Is it going down? Let me know what you guys see. Let me know. And if you don't know, then let me know as well if you don't know, and I will help you out. It's okay to not know, right? So I see a lot of different answers. So let me help you identify what is going on. So going back to one of the last presentations I did, you need to know the relative time frame that you are looking at. You need to know how far back you're looking at. I don't have the months on this chart. I did that for a reason. But from here to here, I can see that we were in an uptrend, right? The stock was clearly going up. But here, we're going sideways. So the market is going sideways. That's what the current trend or what the current market price or what the current market structure is doing. It's going sideways. So if you do not have a strategy that is going to work in a sideways market, you do not need to be trading. You do not need to be trading. If you don't know, do nothing. Next, let me know. Up, down, long, or short? What are we doing here? Come on, let me know in the chat. Up, down, long, short. Let me know. I'm trying to help you guys. I can't help you guys if you don't give me feedback. Down. Everybody on the same page, right? We should be going short this company. Next, I want to help you guys figure out how to block out the noise. So I had a question on one of the last presentations. How do I block out the noise? So I went to work to try to figure out how to help you guys block out some of the noise, right? So on CNBC, this is something that was posted on CNBC. Foreign phone sales plunged 47%, and China spelling trouble for Apple. Let me tell you guys something. CNBC and other news networks, their objective is meant to scare you into giving you their money and putting your money to firms so they can invest it for you. So they can take a percentage of your net worth and take a percentage of your wealth. Why do you think they advertise Invesco QQQ and T. Rowe Price every time you watch CNBC? Every time it goes on commercial, those are the networks that are on. Every single time it's advertisement from some type of investment company. Now I get it is an investment network, but that is done by design. Nothing that has happened, especially on a bigger scale, is done by design. We need to start paying attention. So you need to have your own idea. We are smart enough to put the pieces together. So what I have for you is Apple's revenue by geography. So I can see that most of Apple's revenue comes from America. Then the next amount of the revenue comes from Europe. Then it's China. So I went and did the calculation. So they're making 67 billion, right? And the phone sales plunged 47%. So let's just say that takes away almost half of that market in China. So let's just say that brings them down 30 billion in China. They still have 167 billion in America, and they still have 101 billion dollars that they are making in Europe. So Apple will be perfectly fine. But this is why you have to have your own idea and you have to put the research behind it. Because if you're just looking at CNBC and you're not doing the research, you're going to get scared. But Apple is right now the most valuable company in the world. Now, I understand that the phone sales are plunging, right? And technically, yes, this is something that we should pay attention to, right? But Apple has a bunch of other issues that are important. They need to innovate. They need to do a lot more things. But phone sales in China is not a top priority for me if I'm just looking at how much revenue they make by geography. Most of their revenue comes from America and Europe. China is third on their list. So in this aspect, they would be okay. And this is how you start blocking out the noise. It really comes from doing the actual research and having your own process that you know works. Your money does not move the market. Whales do. I want all of you guys, if you can, to buy and read this book, The Creature from Jekyll Island. I know it's a long book. It's 500 pages, just to let you know. I understand it's a long book. But we, at some point, if we really want to be successful, we have to put the work in, and we have to stop looking for outside sources to give us information when we can actually go get the information ourselves. But this is the Rothschilds investments, their top holdings. And if you read that book, you will understand who that family is and why they're so important, and why JP Morgan will never fail and Chevron will never fail. They will always get bailed out no matter what happens. Those companies will always get bailed out. But if I'm looking at these top holdings, I see Apple, JP Morgan, Nvidia, Google, Chevron, BlackRock, Berkshire Hathaway, Microsoft, AbbVie, and then Invesco QQQ. You need to be putting your money in the same companies that the whales are putting their money in. How you're going to develop an edge is by the price that you buy the asset, which makes the most difference in everything. Fundamentals. After this, everybody should have a better sense of fundamentals. So I'm going to break this down for you. So this is NVIDIA, right? Some of us are not good with numbers. I understand it and I get this. Some of us are visual learners, right? I'm a visual learner. You need to take the information and you need to put it in a way that is easy for you personally to understand. Some people are good with numbers. If it makes sense to you in a number aspect, just go look at the numbers. If you're a visual learner and it makes sense to you, looking at it from a visual perspective, go get a visual. But at the end of the day, you know how you learn best, or you should know how you learn best. So all of this information, you need to put it in a way for you to easily understand it. It's not about anybody else. It's about you specifically. I want to help all of you individually become the best investors that you possibly can, so we can all come together and make something magic happen together. So in the beginning, you have revenue, and it breaks it down for NVIDIA so you can really truly start to understand how these companies make money. Compute and networking, their largest segment of revenue. And then they have graphics. 77% of their revenue comes from compute and networking, which is AKA data center. Next, you will see that they make almost $61 billion in revenue, right? Next is cost of goods sold. And to put that in a term that you guys will understand, so if you look at where it says COGS and it says 16.6 B, that's 16.6 billion. That's how much it costs them to make their products. So it's 27% of their revenue. So for another example for you guys, right? This is the example. I have a t-shirt brand. It takes me $27 to make the shirt and I sell it for $100. It takes me $27 to make the shirt and I sell it for $100. Let me know if that makes sense to everybody in the chat. I want to make sure you guys truly understand this. Let me know if that makes sense. All good. Next, that is how you get your gross profit, right? Now, after that, you have operating expenses. How much money does it take you to actually operate the business? So for a company, you have to pay employees, right? You have to spend money on research and development. And then you also have other expenses. But for NVIDIA themselves, most of their money or all of their money is being spent on research and development and SG&A, which is basically money that is being spent within the company. So whether it's bonuses, employee salaries, things of that nature, right? And as we can see, a lot of their money, it doesn't take a lot to operate their core business. It does not, which is amazing for a company like this. Then you have your operating income, and then you have to pay taxes. And then that's when you get your net income, which is your profit margin. So this is how you fully understand a company from the top to bottom, understanding their products, understanding where they are losing money and where they are making money. So if this company, if NVIDIA was losing a lot of money in cost of goods sold, or it took them, let's say 70% to make their products, that would be troubling, right? You guys need to start understanding these companies fully so you can actually understand where they can improve in their business. And you need to know the business as if you are the person running it. You have to. That's going to give you a better edge and a better understanding of the company than anybody else. Your nervous system will always choose familiar chaos over unfamiliar peace. until you learn to choose, or until you learn to heal and choose differently. One of the hardest things on earth to do is changing the way you think. They don't teach you that in school. A lot of parents don't teach this, but they're not taught to teach this, right? So no one ends up really knowing who they are. No one really ends up knowing why they do the things that they do. The number one thing that you need to study is you. And they don't teach you the study of the self for a reason. They don't teach this in school. They don't teach this in college, right? I feel like it should be a mandatory course, but they don't teach this. Everything in life that was created has some type of alignment in some way, shape, or form. So I want you guys to start unprogramming your bad habits and unprogramming yourself from bad thoughts, vices. All of those things stem from your environment. Probably 85% of those things are stemmed from where we grew up, right? But I want you guys to pay attention to this picture. Going back to subconscious and the conscious. So up here, this is your programming. This comes from your environment, maybe your parents, your friends, the people you hang around, the things you listen to on a daily basis, the music you listen to when you open Instagram, when you open Twitter, and you're constantly getting that feed, that entertainment. All of that is programming you in a certain way. It's called Instagram for a reason, right? But all of those things are programming you. So you need to make sure that you're actually putting the right things in your mind, putting the right things in your face, putting the right things around you for you to actually succeed in what you want to do. If you have negative programming, or everything that you're listening to, or everything that you're programming yourself with is harmful, then your thoughts are going to be harmful and your habits are going to be harmful. All of these things trickle down and then it comes to your brain. You are the computer. You have to train yourself. A lot of us don't want structure, but you need structure. You have to train your mind to reject anything that does not serve you. You have to train your mind to reject anything that does not serve you. And we all keep looking for more information when you are all you need. Everything that you've been through has laid a foundation for what is to come. So a lot of the information that I'm looking and I'm finding comes from me just looking at myself and looking at my past. When God made us, he created us in his image and he took his time, right? We're not microwavable. You know, you put a pot pie in the microwave or you put some food in the microwave, right? And it's cold in the middle, right? We were not made like that. So why are you programming yourself like that? Why are you thinking of yourself like that? All of us in this chat or all of us in this call are kings of queens, and we should only regard and look at each other as such because that's what we are. And we are all powerfully individually. So what do you think we can do when we all come together? But you have to work, eat, sleep, be entertained, and repeat. That is the cycle that they try to put us in. Work, eat, sleep, be entertained, repeat. Work, eat, sleep, be entertained, repeat. You haven't took any time to study yourself. You haven't took any time to detach from the world and detach from all of these things around us, right? And this will put it in perspective. All of us, we can name a brand. We can name a logo, right? Or a social media platform. We don't need the name to say it. But when we go outside and we look at the trees, we don't know what type of leaf that is. It's mental programming, and it was done on purpose and was done by design. You need to be able to go back and unprogram yourself and change it and actually program yourself with things that are beneficial to you. Next, short-term thinking is stopping you from being successful. You guys need to start paying attention to things that actually matter. That's why I like doing these presentations, so I can show you guys advanced things that you guys can look at that will actually give you an edge in the market. So here is my special gift to all of you. There's a 94 chance that Bitcoin will rise and have an amazing year this year. So on the other presentations, I said that Bitcoin will have an amazing year in 2025, but this is the actual research behind it. I'm data driven and I always will be. Global liquidity, right? Is entering the next bullish phase in a long-term cycle. And Bitcoin's price has shown a strong correlation with global liquidity metrics, right? Between May of 2013 and July of 2024, Bitcoin has a correlation of 0.94 with global liquidity, indicating that increases in global money supply will often coincide with Bitcoin's price appreciation. So this is how you actually do the research and you go find what you're looking for. I need a reason, right? Before I make an investment, I need to actually go do the research. Going back to what I told you guys, you need an idea, then you need to put the research behind it, then you need the data behind it, and then you need to make a bet, a calculated bet using probabilities. And I don't have a crystal ball. I have relentless curiosity and work ethic. Next, you have to have undeniable belief in what you're doing. And that belief comes from the work that you put in and the results that you're getting from the work. Fund manager cash levels have hit a 3-year low at just 3.9%, indicating that we're probably going to have another 2 years or a year and a half of a bull market. And if you look at the top, when the cash levels raised over 5%, and you just look on the chart, you can see the specific years that that cash has went that high and what coincided with that. So 01, right? 08, 2016 with Brexit, 2020 with COVID, and when we had a recession in 2022. All of this information is here. We have to go do the research and we have to go find it. And it's going to be super, super hard, but you need to balance the past, meaning data that you're going to look at, and the future into your ideas, right? And if I had to give you a structure, I would say 80% past and 20% future. But nobody will read more books. Nobody will do more research. Nobody will put more quality time into watching the market than me. That's how I look at it. Every day I wake up when I do this. And I'm doing this because Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Robinhood, Charles Schwab, they will not give retail investors a playbook. So last year I was on the phone with Bank of America, right? I was trying to talk to them about investing ideas and strategies, right? They told me I needed 100,000 minimum to talk to them about investing strategies. I hung up the phone and I got to work, right? So if you're not going to give me the playbook or you're not going to give me the system, that's fine. I'll go do it and I'll go find it myself. I want all of you guys to focus on one sector of the market and master it. Then you will see the movement and the rotation of hedge funds and institutions in that sector. So I really want you guys to lock in on 1 to 2 sectors, right? And this is a quote from Warren Buffett. Everybody has a different circle of competence, right? The important thing is not how big the circle is. So it doesn't matter that I can go find a company in utilities and energy and tech and healthcare, right? I can go to any sector I wanted to, right? And find opportunities. I'm sure I can just from the work ethic. I know I can, right? But just because you can does not mean you should. Stay in your circle of competence always. Next, you are not a victim. This is for you to do better when you're trading. You are not a victim. You are not a victim. You are not a victim. You have to say it out loud and you have to speak it. You can't control price and the outcome of a trade. You cannot control price and the outcome of a trade. Stop having emotions and feelings in your trades when you lose. Stop. That is hurting you. You are not a victim. You cannot control price and the outcome of a trade. But the factors that you can control outweigh everything and will enable you to trade with an edge. So there's a lot of people saying, trade this, do this, run this play, run that play, do this, right? No, I have my own system and my own strategy that I'm using. I already know the 24 trades that I'm taking every single year. I don't need nothing else, right? But I can control when I trade, when not to trade, what I trade, when I exit a trade, my risk, the worst case scenario, the tools that I use, hence indicators, my feelings towards the outcome, which is probably the most important, and your learning progress. Again, you cannot control price and the outcome of a trade, and you are not a victim. A trading tip for all of you, less is more. If you take 20 trades, you only need to win 14%, or you only need to win 14 of those trades to go 70%. If you take 50 trades, you need to win 35 of them to go 70% for that year, right? It's very, very hard to manage 35 trades throughout the year or 50 trades throughout the year. But if I have 14 and I pick my spots and I have a very good risk to reward ratio and I trade less times, but I have a bigger target, I don't have to be as successful as everybody else because I'm picking my spots and I'm choosing my spot. So Curry, right? Or let's say Ray Allen. Ray Allen was good at shooting corner threes. He's a spot up shooter, right? Of course, he can shoot all around the three, but why not just keep taking that same spot in the corner? Because you know it's going to be a knockdown. I'm looking at trading in the exact same way. I don't need to take shots all over the court. I don't need to shoot a half court shot, right? I don't need to shoot a three from the logo or a three from the line, right? I'm sticking in my circle of competence and I'm sticking to what works for me. 24 trades through the year. And lastly, you are a product of love. I want all of you guys to know this. You are the chosen one, right? You all need to start walking like 3,000 ancestors are behind you because, in fact, truly they are, right? You are the one that will change the legacy of your family. One, the science and mathematical possibility of being born in general is just super low. So we actually need to start walking around and acting like it. You are actually chosen. That's how I feel. Again, the scientific and mathematical possibility of being born is very, very low. So you are chosen. And I want all of you guys to know you have to make a choice, the pain of staying where you are or the pain of growth. The pain of staying where you are or the pain of growth. Both of them are going to hurt, but are you going to push through the obstacles that you're facing? So when it gets hard in trading and you lose 3 trades in a row or you lose 4 trades in a row, right? Or you mess up on your rules or you're undisciplined and you make a trade off of FOMO or you're making a trade off of emotion, right? It's going to be hard, but you have to go through that lesson to grow so you don't make it again in the future. You are the one that needs to change the legacy of your family because if you do not do it, everybody on this call, you guys are on this call for a reason. If you don't do it, right, your family is going to have to wait another 200 to 300 years for someone like you, similar, to be born again. And you don't know if your last name will last that long. So if I am not the person in my family that's going to create wealth and success and have family offices, right? Then who else is going to do it? If not me, then who? If I don't do it, another 200 or 300 years is going to go by. And then my last name, my family's legacy is going to look for someone to do what I could have done while I was walking on this earth, while I had breath in my body. And I'm not going to let that be the case. Again, you are not microwavable. God took his time when he curated all of us. So we need to act like it. And prepare for the week coming up, January 6th through the 10th. Monday, we have ISM services, PMI factory orders. So that is going to give you guys insight about kind of how industrials are doing, how manufacturing is doing, and how the actual steel industry and kind of like the nitty gritty part of America is doing. Tuesday is the U.S. trade deficit, which is important. Job openings is going to be reported as well. That's going to be very, very important. Wednesday, we have ADP employment and consumer credit. Thursday, initial jobless claims, wholesale inventory, and then Friday, we are jam-packed with consumer sentiment, U.S. employment report, U.S. unemployment rate, hourly wages, and hourly wages year over year. And then as far as earnings, Monday, we have Calm, not that important of a company. Tuesday, we have BTI, not important either. And then Friday, we have Delta, Walgreens, Tilray, and STZ. Futures short, NASDAQ short, ES short, the Dow short crude, short ZB, which is the bond market, and I am short Bitcoin futures. And this week will be heavily driven by economic data and political policy as we inch closer to the inauguration. And economics are key. Employment is going to be a key factor, and then industrials as well, going back to ISM services and PMI and things of that nature. And that's what I have for you guys. today.